On July 24th, 2023, in Niagara Falls, an unnamed police officer walked up to a group of protesters from an organization known as Bloodstained Men, a campaign group that speaks out against circumcision. They were standing on a public city sidewalk while holding graphic signs. The officer ordered them to pack up and leave, and warned that refusal would lead to arrest for disorderly conduct. The tense exchange that followed was recorded on camera and quickly became the center of attention as events unfolded further.
Hold on. Gentlemen, you can remove the signs or you can come with me. Up to you.
Officer, we are the Bloodstained Men. We believe we have a constitutional right to hold signs in public.
Okay, well, it's vulgar and it affects other people. And we got called on it.
The ACLU has defended our right to protest in
You have the
public
word
spaces.
foreskin and penis on your signs
Officer,
for public view.
Officer, I suggest you call the city attorney before you push your viewpoint further than this.
I'm telling you to pack it up and move. If you refuse to disperse, you'll be arrested for disorderly conduct.
Who will you arrest? Me or all of us?
All of you.
And you and how many officers are you going to bring
Right
out to do
behind
it?
you.
So
Don't worry, there's more coming.
So you are saying we don't have a right to protest in this town?
Not here on a city sidewalk.
Could you show us the code enforcement?
City sidewalk.
Could
right
you
here.
show it to us?
No.
You're
you
not,
can look it up because you should have got a permit before
we don't
you were
need a
out here.
permit. The Constitution is our permit,
You
officer.
need a permit out here.
So what is your demand?
Disperse.
Do you realize that puts you in league with only a handful of cities? We've been over 500 cities across the United
it's time
States.
to go. I'm telling you to go, or we can do it my way. Up to you.
Why do you say it's your way? Who ordered you to do it? So you're doing it on your own?
Because of this.
Because of what?
You have blood on your crotches.
We are not breaking any laws. We have a constitutional right to protest. We have a constitutional right to protest in the United States. Were you raised in the same country I was raised in?
United States
We have a
of America.
constitutional right
All right,
to protest.
so you're refusing to disperse?
I didn't say that. We're talking.
No.
I want to see the legal citation.
It's dispersed?
Now, what do you mean by disperse?
Go back to your vehicles, pack it up.
What you just watched is a clear First Amendment violation, and the officer practically delivered the evidence himself. The Constitution does not protect only polite or comfortable speech. It also shields expression that unsettles people and causes offense and strong reactions. This principle was firmly confirmed in Snyder v. Phelps, where the Supreme Court ruled by an 8-1 majority that speech on a public street remains protected even when it causes deep emotional harm, as long as it relates to a matter of public concern. The Bloodstained Men were standing on a public sidewalk in an open space, speaking about an issue they believe concerns the public, which is exactly the setting the First Amendment is meant to defend. The most critical error came when the officer openly stated on camera that the signs and imagery were the reason he wanted them gone. In many situations, officers attempt to justify action by pointing to secondary conduct instead of the speech itself, which can blur legal responsibility. But here, that uncertainty vanished. The officer directly confirmed that the content of the message was the basis for his demand, and that turns this situation from a complex dispute into a strong civil rights case, ready to move forward in court.
Who is your duty officer? Who is your duty lieutenant?
Our duty lieutenant?
Who is in charge?
He's long and gone by now.
Who is in charge?
Probably a B shift lieutenant.
We would like to talk to someone higher than you, officer.
Okay.
We feel that you're making
well, you can put the signs in your vehicle till the duty lieutenant shows up.
We would like to talk to someone in charge, officer. You are making a very bad mistake in judgment here. We have a constitutional right.
We also want to be clear that we're not here to get arrested.
We are not here to
assert our rights as much as possible, but we do not. Our goal is not to cause a problem for anyone.
We don't need a permit. The ACLU has confirmed that we don't need a permit to protest in public streets and sidewalks.
You are blocking the sidewalk.
We're not blocking the sidewalk.
You're on the sidewalk.
We do not block. We do not block any pedestrians. Mike, move over a little bit so that they can't claim that we're blocking the sidewalk.
If you're not on the sidewalk, then you're going to be on Sunoco property.
We are not going on private property, officer. Can you please bring?
And now you're on the sidewalk.
Can you please bring your?
They're already on their way.
Whoever's in charge.
They're already on their way.
Because I'm willing to talk to you, but we are firmly convinced that we have a constitutional right to do this.
You're convinced or assured?
We know. We're assured.
Okay, because
the ACLU will back us up on that.
Okay.
The report of indecent exposure marked the first point in this encounter where police had even a minimal basis to make contact. If dispatch truly received such a call, then officers did have a valid reason to check it, because that allegation describes a criminal offense. But the issue lies in how they chose to respond. The correct approach would have been simple observation rather than immediate confrontation. A short pause to watch the scene would have quickly shown that no one was exposing themselves, and the situation would have ended there. Instead, the officers moved directly into the group, gave unlawful orders to disperse, threatened arrest, and ended up creating the very conflict they claimed to address. The Supreme Court clarified the limits of relying on anonymous tips in Florida v. JL, where it ruled that an unverified tip without corroboration or independent police observation cannot justify even a brief stop. In this case, there was no confirmation of any crime. No officer saw illegal behavior, and the tip alone did not give them the authority to order anyone off a public sidewalk, which turns this encounter into a clear example of overreach rather than lawful enforcement.
This is day 4. We were in Orchard Park earlier today.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Fine. The police didn't bother us a bit. We were in Monticello. David, what other cities?
We were in Orchard Park this morning. We were in
borderline
Monticello
auditors.
Oneonta, Binghamton.
We were in Oneonta yesterday.
It was reported that you guys were exposing yourselves. Was anybody exposing their private
That's absolutely false.
Okay,
that is absolutely false. The officer said that someone called in and said that we were exposing. That is absolutely false, officer. Absolutely false. And that's the second time I've heard that over the years. We've been doing this for 11 years. Several years ago, someone called.
I'm just telling you what it was reported.
I understand that, and I believe you because it happened before. And but we're not insane.
You're with them too?
Yeah, we're all together.
You guys are all together, but no one was exposing themselves?
Absolutely not. Okay. Absolutely not. That would. We are not lunatics, officer.
So you are.
No, I understand. You got that report.
You have a right to protest. I'm not saying you don't. I guess the only issue would be obviously if there was any exposing yourselves.
Officer, we have been doing this for 11 years.
Calling you.
We've been doing this for 11 years, officer. We pride ourselves on getting along with the cops. We have cops in our movement.
Oh, sure you have. Hello. People with foreskin? Yes. And bloody crotches. They're on the sidewalk. They do not have their pants down around their ankles. No, just the words, the verbiage. Okay. All right. Thank you. Good God. Where is he? Benny! 3-7. Oh my God.
That phone call likely spared the department from a costly day in federal court because the person on the line clearly understood a basic rule that the officer missed. You cannot force people off a public sidewalk simply because their message is unpopular. The officer later acknowledged they were on a public sidewalk, but that statement carried no weight because the location was never the issue. It was the correct and lawful place for a protest. A public sidewalk is not a privilege that law enforcement can withdraw after receiving a complaint. It is a traditional public forum, and the Supreme Court made that clear in Hague v. CIO, where it affirmed that streets and sidewalks have long been held in trust for public use, including assembly and discussion of public issues. The officer earns a failing grade for a chain of poor decisions. He arrived, assessed the scene too quickly, and escalated each step without legal support. He threatened arrest for disorderly conduct without a valid basis, failed to cite any law when asked, ordered the group to leave solely because of their message, and admitted that reasoning on camera, which removed any doubt about his intent. He also referenced a permit requirement without backing it up, ignored the simplest investigative step of observing the situation, and initially brushed off requests for a supervisor. The troubling part is that his actions did not appear driven by bad intent, but by a lack of understanding. He seemed to believe that offensive speech alone could justify enforcement, and that belief is incorrect and often leads to expensive civil settlements. Every officer working around public spaces should understand First Amendment limits before enforcement decisions are made, not after a lawsuit forces accountability. The supervisor involved in that call earns a solid grade for stepping in at the right moment and preventing further escalation, though a more detailed explanation to the officer would have added long-term value. Addressing the mistake matters just as much as stopping it. The protesters received top marks. They understood their rights,